It was a tea stall. Like other stalls, there was not much noise. That is why I used to come here. Sometimes I would sit here and start writing. The hotel owner looked at me one day with a soft smile. He knew me very well. I smiled at him too and continued on to sit at my favorite place where I used to sit every day. There were only two chairs in the vicinity due to lack of space on the bench where I always sat, and there was a small window in that wall. This bench always remained empty. The main reason for this is that it was impossible to enjoy every place in the hotel sitting here. I was a writer. Writing is such a chore that if there are more people around, it becomes almost impossible to write, and writers usually prefer solitude. I would happily come and sit in that place because no one usually sat there. And it would be nice to sit here and write a story. One day I went to the hotel and sat down there and I ordered tea. I had no desire to sit here for long today, so as soon as I entered the hotel, I ordered tea. Suddenly I thought someone was looking at me through the front window. I saw a shadow with my own eyes. I was shocked, so I raised my head and I looked forward. But there was no one by the window. I thought it was a hallucination. Then I started writing, and then the waiter brought tea and put it on my table. I took a sip of tea. Then I put the cup of tea back on the table and focused on my writing. Then suddenly I hear a voice. "And how long? You will keep writing like this? And what good will it do you?" I immediately raised my head. I saw a handsome young man standing in front of me. I stared at his face. The smile on his face was telling the state of his mind. I asked him, "Who are you? And you know I'm a writer?" Then he said, "Yes, I know. And that's why I asked you this question. If you don't mind, can I sit here?" I nodded and agreed. "Yes, of course." Then he said, "I have been wanting to see you for a long time. Finally today, I succeeded." Then I asked him, "Do I know when you wanted to meet me?" He replied, "I read your story in which a jinn fell madly in love with a girl. As soon as I read that story, I woke up wanting to meet the author of this story, and that is why I'm standing in front of you today." "Glad to hear that," I said. "I'm glad you read my story knowing you have come to see me. I'm glad." Then I asked him, "Can I know your name?" Said, "Of course, I will tell you my name. I'm a big fan of yours." So I smiled a little. He asked me, "But why are you bothering me?" Then I told him, "I'm in trouble with a story." Said, "What kind of story?" Then I told him, "A story that will erase all my other stories from people's heart after reading. That means people will completely forget the stories I wrote earlier. The story will be so lively and wonderful that it will touch people's heart." Then the young man smiled softly and said, "This is not a very difficult task. I can tell you a story that will make you write such a story." I was shocked to hear him say like this. I asked him, "Are you telling the truth?" Then he said, "What is the use of lying to me? But you have to go somewhere, and that will take away all your troubles." Then I asked him, "Where to go?" He replied, "Riaz Shah must go to his father's dormitory." I asked him, "Who is this person?" Then he said, "He is a camel of great size." Then I said, "Oh well, I understand, but what will I do when I go to his court?" Then the young man looked at me and said, "You see, strange kind of man. Don't you know that it is a privilege to go to the elderly and receive their blessings? Lucky Rag goes to Dargah on the shrine." Then I agreed with him and said, "Yes, I know. After a moment of silence, I asked him, "Well, tell me, what will I say when I meet him?" Then he said, "You go to him and tell him your problem, and then say my name. I hope this works." I said to him, "Don't I have to tell him anything else?" Then he said to me, "He is a very old man. There is no need to go to him and say so much." Then I asked him, "Well, all right, but tell me your name." "I will go to him and say your name." Then the man said, "Listen to the name of the Dargah first." That said, he gave me an address. Then he said softly, "My name is Rabas." I looked at him in amazement and asked, "Rabas, what kind of name is that again?" The current goes out just to ask it, and there is complete darkness. It was so dark that it seemed like night. Then suddenly the generator of the hotel started, and the hotel lights are on. Then when I looked at the chair in front of me, I was shocked, because the front chair was empty. I could not see Rabas. I got up from my chair and stood up. I saw every place in the hotel very well, but I did not see Rabas anywhere. Just then I saw a waiter walking past me. I motioned for him to come to me. As he approached me, I asked him, there was a man sitting in the chair in front of me. Do you know where he went? Then the waiter looked at me a little surprised. Then he says, no sir, I don't know who was sitting in front of you. I watched as the waiter looked at me in amazement. After that, the waiter left. I drank the tea and wondered, who was this guy who came to me? Then I quickly finished the tea, went to the counter with my file and pen. I was still thinking about that young man. His name was Rabas. Who was Rabas? Maybe he has another name. Maybe for some reason he hid his name. But then I started thinking it was doubtful that Rabas would suddenly disappear. But what is the benefit? Thinking about this, I set off for my home. I kept thinking I have to go to the dargah that Rabas told me about. The address he gave me, I got there around 9 p.m. It was a very large mausoleum adjacent to the cemetery. Here at the entrance was the first hospital, and then there was the mosque, and there were many people in the mosque at that time. So I started doing ablution for the prayers. After completing the ablution, I entered the mosque and saw that it was time for Isha Jamaat. I never saw the Imam of that mosque, nor I did know him, because this is the first time I have set foot in that mosque. Whenever Imam Sahib started praying, my heart calmed down, but I did not understand when the 4 rakats prayers were over. I went to one side, raised my head and tried to see Imam Sahib, but there were so many people that I could not see Imam Sahib because of them. After a while, people started gathering in one of the rooms, and this is where Mr. Riyad Shah was supposed to come. This is the Riyad Shah Sahib that Rabas told me about. Suddenly a door in the house opened, then a Nurani-looking man entered. Many people began to stand up to respect him. However, he immediately raised his hand and said, sit down, all of you. This is what this old man says, sits down on the carpet laid out for him. Then he started giving masal to people on various subjects. The old man was listening to them with great patience. When my cereal came, I saw that the old man smiled. I said, sir, I'm really in a bit of trouble. I met a stranger and he talked to you. On hearing this, Riyad Shah Sahib said, tell me, who was that person? Then I said to him, his name was Rabas. Whenever I mentioned the name of Rabas, I saw a soft smile on the face of this old man named Riyad Shah. Then he said, hey sir, he is not an ordinary man, he is a jinn. I was startled and said, jinn? What are you talking about? I have seen his face. Then the Lord began to say, yes, brother, he is a jinn. He came to see you in human form. Then I said in surprise, tell the truth. The master said, yes, he was a jinn. After a while, he said again, you write the story, you should not be bothered about these things. Why were you in trouble? Hearing him saying this, I got into more trouble. I was scared to think that I had to meet a jinn today. Mr. Riyad Shah's speech made me believe that Rabas was a jinn. I was overwhelmed by the thought of him. Then I realized that there are many people behind me who have come to meet Riyad Shah. Then I hurriedly said to Riyad Shah, why did he send me to you? Then he smiled a little and said, I think I have the cure for the problem you are in. Let these people go, then I will talk to you. Hearing this, I quietly moved away and sat in a corner. I sat here for a long time. Even so, owning one is still beyond the reach of the average person. Rather, I was feeling a strange kind of peace in my heart. Back then, I had no idea about time. Eventually, the number of people who came here decreased. Only Riyad Shah's servant was present there. Then all of a sudden, Mr. Riyad Shah motioned for me to come to him. Then he told me, you are going to learn a story that will be very nice. Now you go back to your home. I said, okay, as you wish. Then I got up and went to my house. The next morning, I go out of bed. After a while, someone knocked on the door. Then I started walking towards the door. Going to the front door, I asked, who? Who is on the other side of the door? Then a voice came from across the door. I am the one you are waiting for. Hearing his voice, I thought I have heard such a voice before. So I quickly opened the door. I was surprised to see the door open because Rabas was standing in front. Suddenly, I had a shock. Then I said, You? He starts laughing and says, Yeah, me. Won't you let me in? I looked at him in surprise and moved to one side, and Rabas immediately entered the room. As he walked around my house, he kept looking around. Then he suddenly asked me, Do you live alone, sir? Then I don't have a cold breath and said to Rabas, Yes, I live alone. Then the two of us entered my room. I sat in my chair and Rabas sat in front of sofa. Then he suddenly looked at me and started smiling. Then he started saying, So did Mr. Riaz Shah tell you everything about me? Did you know everything about me? Then I nodded and replied, Yes, I know everything about you. Then Rabas asked me, Are you scared to see me? Because I don't meet Jane every day, do I? We are human beings. Then Rabas said, We are an invisible race. I am in human form at the moment. That is why you can see me, otherwise you can't see me. Now my fears were gone, and so I curiously asked Rabas, Then why did you come here as a human being? Rabas replied, I have a reason to come here as a human being. An accident has happened to me which is very scary. All I want is for people to know about me. I know you are a very good writer. I asked Mr. Riaz to write my story and he gave me permission. He said, Let me tell you everything so that you can hear everything and write the story and pass it on to the people. Then I heard Rabas say, Oh well, I'm looking for a story myself. Then I asked him, But Rabas, why do you want your story to reach people? What is your motive behind it? On hearing this, Rabas started laughing and said, This question is normal, but I will answer it when my storytelling is over. Now I will not say anything about it. Then I heard Rabas say, All right.